Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. Shir sponsor Nishma Sam Yakushon Le'Abba Sitzchok. We're holding Metzia Daf and Dalad. Today is Erev Pesach, so we will have a shorter shir, just push up shot in the Gemara to make sure to be able to cover this before Yom Tiv. We're starting from Gimel on the base towards the bottom. The Gemara says, Ibailu. This is 5 lines from the bottom. Ibailu Chumshu Milagav Chumshu Milabar. Says the Yisrael we need to know throughout Shas. Whenever you have to pay chomish, many times there's a fine of a chomish. Chomish means a fifth. What is the fifth? The fifth is milagav or milabar, meaning if a person, let's say, stole 100, he ate from kodesh or from Metzia Sheni, wants to redeem Metzia Sheni, it's worth 100. Do you pay 20, which is a fifth of the 100, or you pay 25, which is a quarter of the 100, but it will be a fifth? It will be, when you add it to the 100, now it becomes a fifth. You add a quarter to the 100, now it becomes a fifth of the total new number. Says with this is Gemara we'll see in Erechim, so we're not going to go now to understand the svara behind it. But what is brought down over there is the following: the owner says, "I want to redeem something for 20." If he redeems for 20, he's going to add a chomish. Anybody else who redeems, they don't add a chomish. Chomish is only for the owner. So they say we want to redeem it for 20. So for sure that come first. They add the chomish. Comes a guy and says, you know what, I want to do 21. I don't want to do 20. I'm going to come and redeem it for 21. So then, what do you tell the owner? Very interesting svar. The owner needs to equate what the other guy is giving. He is giving 20, so the other guy the other guy is willing to give 21. He has to give at least 21. Plus, he has to add the chomish, which you would add on the 20. Not on the 21, because he's adding chomish only once the actual value. The value is 20. He adds a chomish, but he has to add another one because somebody else is willing to pay 21. Esri v'shtayim, or another guy was willing to pay 22. Habayim noisim esri v'sheva. What's 27? 22, the original 20, plus the 5 of the chomish, plus 2 they need to pay because somebody else is willing to pay that. The same thing in the next case. Esri v'shosh, somebody else is willing to pay 23. Habayim noisim esri v'shmoyne, 28. Why 28? 20 is original. 5 is the chomish, plus the 3 that someone else is willing to pay. Esri v'arba, person is willing to pay 24. Habayim noisim esri v'tesh, same cheshbon. Esri v'chomesh, habayim noisim shloshim. He says 25, the owner gives 30. Why 30? 20 that he was originally wanted to give. 5 is chomish, plus 5 the other guy is willing to pay. So Rashi, when he points out, look at the Gemara there in Erech. The Gemara in says why? Right now, the other guy is willing to pay 25, which is the original number this guy wants to pay. So why can you just say he's paying 25 instead of me? The next case of the Gemara over there is what is the 26? The other person says, I'll pay 26. You tell the other guy to pay. The owner says, I'm willing to pay 20. Great. So you pay 5 more, which is the chomish. So that's 25. If the other guy's willing to pay 26, the other guy will pay it. But if the other guy is saying 25, now the owner needs to pay 25 plus 5 that the other guy is willing to pay, which is the carrot. So that's the question: is why don't you say in the case of 25, I'm willing to pay 25, he's willing to pay 25, he should come in lieu of me. Also, I have to understand why if somebody else wants to pay more, then the owner has to pay more. That belongs to the Gemara Nechid. But we're reading this Gemara over here just to say, what's the chomish? The chomish is 5, right? Because it says clearly the cheshbon. The owner wants to pay 20 plus 5 plus whatever the other guy is willing to pay. So you see that the chomish is 5. You see it's chomish milagav. So milabar. So the Gemara meaning that the last sentence is, why does he pay only 5? Why doesn't he pay 5 plus a fifth of what the other guy wants to pay? You don't pay a fifth of what the other guy is willing to pay. So he's going to pay the principal. He's going to pay the fifth. He's paying also what the other guy is willing to pay without paying chomish in that. You see here the chomish, the cheshbon of chomish is 5 of 20, which means a quarter of the original. You add a fifth, him, whatever you're paying, plus the extra, plus the 5, together will be 5. So the original is 4. The fifth of the original amount. So you buy low. Question. If you don't pay the chomish, is it me'akev that you don't have a redemption or not? Do we say that he's paying 4 for 4? He's redeeming 4 for 4. And on his own, he's adding a chomish. There's a requirement to add a chomish, but it's not me'akev. Misvar, you say Chozam Akid. Or deal maybe I bought the Chamisha Park. You're doing 4 for 5. The Chodesh B'Akiv, that's how you pay. It's 4 for 5. When you have a suffix, you don't do Chodesh. Beer, you don't go and you have to invite it at the end of the time or on the 3rd year, like you have a regular Ma'aser Sheni. Ha Karen Yesh, you have to pay the principal. My time, why Karen? What's the difference in Karen and Chodesh? Karen the Me'akiv b'Doraisa. Karen is a must. Isa Isa. Isa b'Derabbanan. So you pay it also b'Demayim, which is only Derabbanan. It's only a suffix. Right? Demayim is when Amoritz does it, which Rabbanan or Machmir, so you assume they didn't pay. Chodesh the Lo Me'akiv b'Doraisa. Chodesh is not Me'akiv. Less b'Derabbanan. So Chodesh right for me. Chodesh is not Me'akiv. Says more limit to the chutz and chogis taraim. Now Tara is a Karen the loinosan as a chodesh. He paid Karen out chodesh. Rabbi says that's fine. You pay the Karen, you don't pay the chodesh, you can really eat it. Rabbi Shua you can't eat it. So you see, what's the machlokes? You need to pay the chodesh for that. Rabbi Lazar makes sense at Shabbos. He needs to eat for Shabbos. You make sure he's able to eat. Rabbi Shua on a weekday. That's what they're arguing both. Because he says, I agree with him on Shabbos. The fact they say, I agree with Rabbi Yeshua on the weekday, that means they're arguing both, Shabbos and the weekday. What's the machlokes? Therefore, if you pay the principal, if you didn't pay the chodesh, you're fine. You should pay the chodesh later. If I can't eat it before doing the chodesh. Everybody agrees the chodesh is not, you don't need it. The shah is, if I tell you don't pay chodesh, will you be pasha? You never get paid. So therefore you never can eat without chodesh, even on Shabbos. You know you have to play it, you'll pay it eventually. By Hagdish is different than Ma'aser Sheni. By Hagdish, everybody agrees no pshiuso. Because the Gizbarim, the people that are responsible for Hagdish, they're going to run after him. So by Hagdish, they're not running Hagdish, but at times it's the Ma'aser. No sense to care, no sense to chodesh. You pay the principal without the chodesh. There is a chilul by Hagdish. The chodesh, there's not chilul. The chodesh see that the chodesh, that's the same machlokes. And the more there says, Rabbi Yimim, Rabbi Lazar, by Hagdish. Hagdish, I agree with Rabbi Lazar. And the course is the same idea. Meaning, Hagdish, there's a difference between redemption of Hagdish and redemption of Ma'aser Sheni by us. The fact that they agree with him in Hagdish, Ma'aser Sheni, they're arguing as well. They're arguing in Hagdish. So you see, by Hagdish is a machlokes, do we allow not to pay the chodesh? If you want to see something, you have to say the following. B'Shabbos behegdish shechila. By Hagdish is a machlokes. Chodesh will you pay or not? But by Shabbos, so for sure will be makel. Why? You have to make sure to have food on Shabbos. So you want to allow it to be easier for you to redeem it. In addition, you have Gizbarim. So in a week, they have only one swara, the Gizbarim running after him. So that's good, but that's not good enough. But Shabbos, you have another reason. Now we allow him to redeem without a chodesh. You're not allowed to be redeemed hegdish for on a land. It says you have to take the money. What about a chodesh? Can I do chodesh a karka? Is chodesh like the keren or not? Truma you can't redeem truma unless you're doing it for a chulin, because you need to have, as we learn in Maseches Trumas, you need to have the chulin turn to be truma by the kohen should be able to take it and use it for his own thing, to use it for truma. So meaning it has to be chulin could turn to be truma. Something could be kodesh for the kohen. What about the chodesh? Can the chodesh be paid not for the chulin? Is chodesh different? Ma'aser Sheni you can redeem on a simon, which is a coin that has no tzura. What about the chodesh? Can I redeem it on a simon? It's not the means of what the committee. So the olav to say the chodesh is like it, and the same with whatever you can do on the keren, you can do the chodesh as well. We also learned a person who stole truma did not has to pay. He didn't eat it, so he has to pay back as a regular stealing. He pays double. Whatever truma is, the value of truma is less than chulin because not everybody can eat it, so you just pay double. But he ate it. Now he's already eating truma, so now he has to pay misham shnei karnam. He has to pay double the chomish and pay a chomish because you have to pay chomish when you eat truma. Karen v'chomish min chulin. Karen chomish to be min chulin, the size of chulin because it has to turn to be truma. That Karen to be truma and the other Karen can be truma. So the first chomish has to be chulin. Why? Going back to our question, you treat the chomish like the original principle. There has to be min chulin. So the more from down base shramina chomish kavois to shramina. You see, you treat the chomish like the original amount. Amar Urva Gabei Gezel Ktiv. It says by Gezel v'chemishisov Yosef Olov. You add. It says chemishisov lo shirabim. When do you pay chomish on stealing? When a person steals and he lies about it, and he does a shvuah, so then you add a chomish to it. Not so he gave him the keren, and he does a shvuah on the chomish, he lies about the chomish. In other words, you always pay the fine of 25%. When a person steals, he does a shvuah, he pays 25%. He lies about the chomish, he pays a 25% on the 25%, etc., until the original thing that he's lying about is less than a pruto. So you see, you do chomish and chomish. That's by Gezel. You have to add chomish. So the eichel truma b'shalom keren v'chomish. Pay the principal plus the chomish. Chad ha'eichel chad ha'shoyse chad ha'sak. Doesn't have to eat, drinks, or put it on his body. Chad truma toy, chad truma toy. Doesn't have a Torah tome. Sham chumsho v'chumsho the chumsho. You add chomish on the chomish. Right? That's what it says. V'yilu gavei ma'aser lo michtachtiv v'lo yibid the By ma'aser, it doesn't say in the pasuk, and the Mishnah did not mention it. It was not even a shaila. We knew about ma'aser. There's no source to say that you pay a chomish on a chomish. Kabe hegdish techtiv v'im magdish igel is beisoy v'yosef chamishis koitze gesef erkacho. It says you have chamishis v'dan apoydis hegdish voisiv chomish. You add a fifth. Chum shadnan. He says you pay a fifth. Chum shad chum shaloit nan. It doesn't say you pay a chomish for the chomish. Mai. What do you say here? Kabe chum ktiva yosef because you don't have ktiva yosef is the source because it says v'yosef loshen hoysofo and as the Torah puts out with a vav v'yosef moisiv v'choyzer moisiv. And therefore you add chomish, so that applies also by hegdish. It's not just because it says the word v'yosef. It says chamishisoi, and you add another vav, havelei chamishisov. Right? You add that you add it, you add the vav, so it becomes the two vav. Chamishisoi is one, chamishisov is many vavs, many chamishis. Doesn't say chamishis. If you take the vav of Yosef, the shot is the chamishis, you're going to add it to the end of chamishis. So you say chamishis. It says chamishis. Now, what does it mean taking the vav? That's called goyim misifim. You take a vav from one word, bring another word. You can take the vav from chamishis, add it to the end chamishisov. You take the vav from chamishis of Yosef, put on chamishis because chamishisoi. That doesn't say Rosh Rabbit. Now the Rishonim asked, why do you put vav in the middle? Chamishiyos. So the answer, you don't never add a vav in the middle of the word. You don't add. It's only at the end of the beginning of the word. So shaila is, how do I know that pay chomish or chomish? Because it says v'yosef, or because you do the vav, you take the vav into it. It says more of a tevik levav leegdishini. What about the fact that it's a second egdish? Meaning, when you redeem egdish for the first time, then you do chomish. But when it's the second time, you don't do chomish. So here the chor was born in the sense chomish is considered to be the second ekdish. So anyway, you don't do chomish on that. This Rav said chomish ketchilas hegdish dami. Chomish is considered to be a new hegdish. It's not a second hegdish. It's not redeeming hegdish on something else. It's already something new because it's just a new thing that wasn't there before. What's the conclusion? It says chamish is erkacho. Masiv makish chamish shel lekesef erko. Chamish to erchin, which is like a hegdish, which is one of the hegdishes. Makesef erko masiv chamish. On the erch itself, you have to add chamish. So, afkas of chomish shadam moisiv chomish. In other words, the same way the actual value of hegdish you have to do chomish. So also the chomish you have to do chomish. If you want to learn it from a pasuk, where you had a suffix, do you learn it similar for truma? It's like more hegdish has its own pasuk teach you that you had chomish on chomish. We say we'll stop over here. We'll start from the gufo and the next daf. This was a little rushed, but it was in order to get the daf before Yom Tiv. A good tin Yom Tiv Chakosha v'Sameach.